Hi everyone, it is Wednesday, January 4th, and we're going to do this kind of the same thing we did yesterday to get a look at these markets and then see what's moving. I made a list of some of the things I was looking at yesterday that I noted we maybe take a look at them again. But so I got the TTM what this chart is. It's a combination of the TTN trend and the TTM scalper alert, all that John Carter stuff. But I tried to use it in a combination, and you see I got the RSI down here now. So this is a daily chart of the SPY. The overall trend is bearish because the RSI is below 50. We don't have any squeeze, but the bars are coming back up. Like the momentum down is coming out a little bit. I don't really buy, that could stay down there like this for a long time. So I don't use that as an indication, but at least we're looking at that. We see we got an up arrow right here, and you can look up TTM trend and TTM scalper. Just Google them, or go to the Thinkorswim if you have that trade or help desk. But it'll explain more how these arrows are formed, and it'll explain more how the candle, when the candles are red versus the candles are green. The reason I combined this is because you get a lot of false signals just using the scalper arrow. Sorry, I can't pronounce that. So I combined it, on a daily chart. When I was talking about the 1 minute charts before, it's a little bit easier because you're doing 1 minute. You can get out of the trade pretty quick if it goes against you. Like if this was this wouldn't really be. Well, this would kind of be trending on an upside if this was a 1 minute chart. But again, 1 minute charts are different than dailies. You don't want to get stuck. So what I did was I said, you got to get the up arrow, then followed by 2 green candles. Okay, your out is your out, whatever that is, because the green candles mean there's more bullishness in the day's trading compared to the plot that we have on there. I think the study is set at 6 days, it looks like. So the last 6 days. I mean, you can change that, you can play with it, but that's what it's set. So it's taking the last 6 days, the data using a percentage. So that's a positive sign. So we got an up arrow, we got a positive sign here. If we can get out of that range that I have in here, we might get a little bit of a move up. So that's what I'm looking at. So that's why I combined these two, because just like you look here, I mean, the trend is down here. So I mean, you're looking for a down move. So you look for 2 red candles. So you got a down arrow here. Let's just do this down arrow. A down arrow, 2 red candles, you can go short. Or you can use 1 or whatever it's forming the next day. You have to play with any indicator you're using. You have to play with it so it makes sense to you. That's why I told you, just look them up on Google or in the Learning Center on TD Ameritrade or Thinkorswim. They have to make sense to you. You just can't have somebody sit here and tell you buy here if you're not understanding what you're doing or why you're doing it. So that's that. I'm just looking at this chart saying, okay, we get another green arrow candle and it pops out of this. We might get that next move up. We go to the regular chart. You see it's just in a range. MACD looks like it might be having a positive signal line cross. That's good. Looks like the buyers are coming out of the ADX. So everything's looking good. The buyers may start taking control. Let's take a look at the Qs on this one here. Don't have any white arrows, don't have any green candles. There's nothing say buy this yet if you're using this as an indicator. So the Qs are still in a little bit of trouble. And the IWM saying we got a buy signal here. We got 3 green candles on an upside, but the trend is still not looking real good on that. I don't know why the RSI isn't on that. Maybe I didn't save it to the scalper trend, putting the RSI on there, but I'll have to check that out. So that's what I'm looking at here. So I'm looking at the SPY, making a move back up if we can get some more buyers in here. But just look at the situation we have going on. It's just deciding what it wants to do. It started the day up a little bit, went down. That's a doji candle, so there's really some indecision on what they wanted to do today. So you look at the stocks we're looking at. I mean, there's a lot of ways to trade, guys. We're looking for support bounces for Apple here. You're looking maybe if it runs down to, like I said on the weekly chart, to 116. You could get a bounce there at the extension, but obviously nothing is really trending right now. Well, except for downtrending. This is a weekly chart. Amazon, we know, is in bad shape, and one thing is you never buy something just because you think it's too low. Not a whole lot of buyers coming in there either. Not a whole lot of buyers coming into Tesla either. But it's also down a whole lot. So you don't want to chase the falling knife. Google, not a whole lot of buyers coming in there on the weekly. I'll go back to all these on the daily. These are just the stocks we cover every night. So Amazon, no real bounces on the daily either. Tesla the same, just riding down that 80 MA. And Google. Now some of the stocks we looked at yesterday were MasterCard. Like I said, it could run up to 361 here. Looks like that may be doing that. If it gets above there, they could use that as support. But we have these little highs over here. Got a little bullish sign here with the buyer still in control. ADX creeping up. That's a good sign. A little bit of volume on today. MACD signal line cross looking like it's happening. But again, it's just a matter of how you want to trade this. Just take a look at our scalper trend on that. See that arrow with the daily candle. There's your second green. Like I said, play with this indicator if you like it, because it's got to make sense to you. You can't be a trader that's just sitting there waiting for somebody. I'm buying here, so he's buying there, I'm going to buy here. That's not how this is supposed to work. MasterCard looks good running up, and you see these two also outperforming the market. That's also what you want to look for. That's a good thing. I wouldn't touch NEO with anything. I mean, unless I'm doing it on a 1 minute chart or something intraday, because that daily chart is just horrible. You never know what's going to happen day to day, especially with the dealing with China. I think I looked at McDonald's yesterday too. I mean, if you get back above that 266, but it's not really outperforming the market. I know MU, I'm looking at the top movers today's horrible chart, but I mean, these are the kind of charts that don't really look good on the daily, but if they're going to keep doing what they're doing, maybe you could trade them on an intraday. It doesn't have to be 1 minute. You can do 5 minute, 20 minute. 5 minute, 30 minute, an hour. But when you use those intraday charts that go into the next day, it gets a little tricky because you're going to deal with some gaps. CarMax, again, another horrible chart. I don't think MGM is horrible. It's basically in a range, so that could run up to. Let's make sure I put that on my list to check out tomorrow. This could run up to very easily before hitting resistance at like 38 or 39 there. I know we looked at Wynn Resorts yesterday. That kept taking off from yesterday. Remember yesterday that outperformed the market. So that's running. Where could that go? Let's look at a weekly chart. So we're going to have some resistance around this area, maybe 97 or 98. It's pretty close to there, but that's where it could run to on this daily chart. Right above there. You don't even see that in the last 9 months, though. So you see that it's been trending up for quite a while. So that if you want to trade right now for short-term trades, you want to do something that's outperforming the market. So I know the airlines are always back and forth. UAL's got some moves in those today. I don't know if there was news or not a whole lot of volume. What I like about today is if you go back to the SPY, is that basically we're sideways. Just like yesterday, inside yesterday's candle, but a lot of these stocks that were outperforming are better than that. And you see, with the market only up 0.77%, there's a ton of stocks up over 2.5%. That's at least 50 up over 2.5%. See if there's a theme up here. See what Netflix is doing, because that's working. And now we're getting into earnings season. We knew that because coming the new year. But that earnings report is 2 weeks out, but that's outperforming. That could easily run to 329 or 330. I think PayPal we looked at yesterday really didn't like it, but it's momentum trade. Trade that intraday, overnight, whichever you're doing. Watch that on a daily chart 'cause it's in a deep downtrend. To trade against that trend if you're going bullish. Looking at Chesapeake, LPX. Remember the oil slash energy were bad yesterday. I think we peaked at Disney yesterday too, which is again a momentum move. See, a lot of these stocks gapped up. I'm liking what I'm seeing from that candle on the market with the scalper trend, and I'm also liking that so many stocks were pretty green today, with the markets just being flat. And if you go down, there wasn't a whole lot red. And what was so oil? Yep, oil still leading the way down, but I'm not seeing all the CVX, CVE, VLOC. Oil energy is still taking a beating. So if they're going to, I mean, they've been pretty volatile over the past few months, but it looks like most of these are on a gap down. That's VLO. Yeah, it looks like they just gapped down and held and popped a little bit, but didn't stay up. So that's not a chart you want to trade. So I'll just hit here, pause the screen, take a look at what I have that's up a lot. Again, a CRM I know had some news. I can't remember if it was this morning or yesterday morning. Not really doing anything to that chart. Not a whole lot of great looking charts. We already know that.